půlka našeho týmu, půlka storage týmu. So, hi, my name is Wojciech Trefny, and today I will tell you something about Anaconda installer and the storage configuration UI we are planning to add to it. Oh, sorry, this one. Yeah, Anaconda is a Fedora, Rails, CentOS, etc. installer. There are more projects named Anaconda, so if you are here for different projects, then sorry, read description of the talk next time. And in this presentation, we will discuss mostly this part of Anaconda that nicely says no disk selected, and it's a storage configuration for installation. So if you actually click on the on this part of installation, you will enter here. You can select which disks you will use for your installations and click on some other nice icons. I will describe them in detail. For most of users that install Fedora, the installation process is really simple. You have either only one drive that is completely empty, or you have one other system like Windows or other Linux distributions, and you want to install, either delete it or install Fedora next to it. So you just need to, if your disk is empty, you just select automatic installation, nothing happens. If you already have something on the disks, you get this dialog, and you can either delete it all or shrink something, etc. It's really simple. But the problem is if your configuration is more complex. I don't know if you can read the screenshot. It's actually output of lsblk command line 2 that lists all your block devices. This is a screenshot from one of my testing virtual machines that has about 25 hard drives and on it some LVM, RAID, Btrfs, just everything. And if you have something like that, this is actually quite crazy, but you can have more disks and some RAID, some LVM, and want to use it. It's actually not so easy with Anaconda. Or if you have some specific needs, you need, I don't know, use more types of storage like RAID, LVM, etc. It's not so easy. For these cases, we have something called custom spoke or manual installation. It works. It works quite differently than you might know from other storage configuration. It works on so-called top-down principle. You don't actually configure the storage. You just select what mount points you need to create, if you need home, swap, root, etc. And before that, you need just to specify what type of storage you need, if it's partitions, LVM, Btrfs, etc. And then you configure features that you need for from Anaconda. It's like how big you need the mount points, what file system you need, if you need some encryption, if you need some redundancy, RAID, etc. And then, just based on it, Anaconda will create host storage. It looks like that. If you installed Fedora, probably you did. You are familiar with it. There are two mount points specified, root and boot and swap. And there on the right side, you see some features you need, what capacity, what type. It's LVM, file system, ext4. Easy. Yeah. As I said, for more complex configuration, this is quite hard to use, because if you have more drives, more operation system installed, it's not so straightforward. Quite often people tell us that the problem with Anaconda is it's designed by developers, and we don't know how people use systems and stuff like that, and it's really badly designed, and we should hire some UX specialists to do the design for us. So we actually did that. If you know Maureen Duffy, she designed the Anaconda installer. You probably don't see the blog, it's very small, but if you Google the name or if you look at the slides after that, you can look at her blog, and there are a lot of designs that didn't make it to Anaconda, a lot of alternative ways how to display storage. It's really nice, you can try to look at it, and maybe you will find something that suits you better than the configuration we have now. But it's really to come up with one way how to please all the people that work with Anaconda and want to configure storage. Yeah, that's probably what I said before. if you have some unusual type of configuration, it's quite too hard to use custom spoke. It doesn't allow you to control everything. Here on the right side, you can specify quite a lot of things, but it's not everything. And if you have complex storage, it's not very good visualization. Here on the right side, you can see you have just free operating system installed on your machine, and it's really hard to navigate if you want to delete something, add something new. It's quite not so easy. And the other thing here I didn't mention is you can't actually configure something that's not related to the installation. As I said, you specify mount points. But if you want to create something that's not mounted in the system, if you want, for example, to have some free space in your system for some future configuration, it's not possible in custom spoke. So there are some different approach to storage configuration. I call it classic approach. And that's something you all know. It's manual configuration of the storage. You need to do all by hand. In case of LVM, you need to create some partitions for your physical volumes, create the volume groups, and then create all the logical volumes one by one. For example, if you know gparted, graphical application that does that. This is a screenshot of gparted. Can someone tell me what's wrong with this screenshot? Someone not from my team. Okay. Someone not from Anaconda team. Yeah. The problem is, you see it. There are two partitions. One is for boot, it's on XFS, and the second is crypt max. And it's actually not just a partition with nothing, it's LVM encrypted. And that's all you can get from gparted. You can't use it for LVM, it doesn't support it. It's based on libparted, that's just for partition, so it's not gparted's fault. But if you want something more complex, you have a problem. So, but there's, of course, a better tool. It's called Blivet GUI. It's the best tool for storage configuration. I know that, I wrote it. It uses the same library that Anaconda uses. It's called Blivet. That's why it's called Blivet GUI. And so it supports all the technologies like LVM, Btrfs, RAID, and it can do in-memory storage model when you can create everything and then write the changes to the disk after that. And it's the same bottom-up type of configuration where you need to start from the bottom and create all the parts of the technology. It's in Fedora since Fedora 21. It's look like this, very similar to the gparted. And this is what this talk mainly about. We decided to add Blivet GUI to Anaconda. It will be a new feature in Fedora 26. We are working on it now. It should be in raw heights probably next week or a week after that. But it won't replace the current custom spoke. It will be the next option, the third option, right next to it, for people that needs more control, that needs some special configuration. It's not only it's not only the another UI when you can work a little bit different. It also allows things that Anaconda currently can't do, or it's not possible to do it from the UI. Like, for example, you can specify LVM rate using Blivet GUI, create LVM cache, and stuff like that. Oh. Yeah. The nice thing of it is that Blivet GUI is written in Python. It uses Blivet, the same library that Anaconda uses, and it's written in GTK. So it's very easy to add it to Anaconda. It's Python, you can just import it. In GTK, you can add the existing widgets into Anaconda, and pretty simple. So the main difference you will see in Anaconda is on the storage spoke, where originally you had only two options, the automatic partitioning and the manual partitioning, and we will add a new option, third option. It now says use Blivet GUI, but it will say something like expert partitioning or stuff like that. I don't know what. And then you will get Blivet GUI in Anaconda. You can configure everything you want. This is how it looks when you try to add new device. This is LVM. You can create volume group directly. So I actually expected I will talk quite longer, but it's okay because I have live demo for you. So you can now see how it works and how it crashes every time. Damn it.
That UI. I bet it was a developer designing it.
Yeah, definitely.
Running in virtual machine, you are afraid you will destroy your own machine, right?
It's actually quite hard to run Anaconda on existing installation.
It's not being afraid, it's being sure.
Yeah, it's quite hard to install system from installed system. So this is the story spoke. I have 3 virtual drives with some really nice names. And I will choose, I want to use Build GUI.
So you're keeping the manual configuration, are there things that your new thing doesn't do, or is it just, is that what people are used to?
People are used to, and it's different approach, and I actually quite like the approach when you specify just the mount points, because it's what most people do. You need like root, home, swap, and I don't know what boot and what features you need from. But a lot of people ask us for something like they can get more control. So this is it.
And in many cases, it's just easier. I mean, if you, for example, create an LVM on top of RAID, on top of Flux, encrypted, so it's like 3 layers of stuff. And if you are clicking in the custom scope, the existing solutions, you can get that very quickly. Whereas in Live GUI, since you have to create every layer separately, it's like a lot of clicking into UI.
So you can see I have 3 hard drives. Here they are empty. So I can try to create something that makes sense. So I, for example, want probably my boot on RAID. So on all 3 drives I have, I want it, I guess, RAID 1. And I want it to be in 1 gigabyte. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It would probably crash. Yeah. So.
Do the sliders work?
Yes, but it's hard to. These sliders are because it's RAID, so you can see it's RAID 1, so it's same size on all the 3 disks, and the slider at the top that doesn't work, that just show how much space you get available. If I choose RAID 0, yeah, you see it, then it's combined.
And if you choose RAID 5?
Sorry?
If you choose RAID 5?
It works too. Yes. You can see I have 3 20 gigs hard drives, and it shows 40 gigs.
And how much space in the file system?
Yes. It's not 40 gigs exactly, because for metadata will take some, but it's like approximation. What?
So it's not, it's not showing.
What are the advanced options?
For RAID, I think advanced options is just setting chunk size. Yes. Then. So XFS I can get with some label. Doesn't matter. So, and it created RAID for me. You can see there's 2 gig size RAID array mounted at boot. It's 2 gig because I chose the RAID 5. And in the space I have, I can create some LVM. I could either do it everything manually and create partition with LVM format, but this part is actually like too manual, so I have some shorter way how to do that, and you can create a volume group directly. Again, I will all 3 drives. No, some name for it. I can encrypt it and choose some very secure password. Yeah. It's very secret. No one would try just one letter.
Or do you search password?
Yeah, and this is newly created volume group. It's empty, so I can add some LVs.
It's also part of the experiment that Anaconda isn't complaining if you choose stupid password. In automatic partitioning or the custom partitioning screen that is existing right now, it will be bitching that you have a weak password, but here it lets you do everything you want.
And I probably want some home too. Oh. Hey, it works. It checks the round point.
Make it great, make it great.
No, it will crash. And it did.
It will crash anyway.
I told you this will happen.
But you can see that the exception reporting works just fine.
Yeah. We can report back.
Yeah,
Have you got network? How will it report it? Have you got network?
yeah, that was the report back button. And reports back to.
Yeah, using clip report, just like Albert from the GNOME.
Yeah, but you should have done that.
That's even better now. My system froze. Yeah, great.
So you have an escape, right? Even in the virtual machine, you have an escape.
Yeah. Okay, so demo over.
Your laptop over.
Probably. So I hope you have questions. Yes.
Why don't you allow some interoperation between all these three available options? Like, I would like to set up automatically probably the basic stuff and then just tweak some details in Rivet GUI because the default is not good enough. But I really don't want to tweak everything manually in Rivet just because the default is not good.
The question was, why don't we allow some automatic partitioning and then changing some small features using the GUI? It won't be able in Fedora 26, but this should be able in Fedora 27. Right now, you can. I can't show you, unfortunately. Maybe, yeah, I can't show you in presentation either because. Right now, you can finish the changes in the GUI, then go back to storage spoke and choose some different type of partitioning. But it will erase everything you did in the different partitioning. But we might change it so you can go to the custom spoke, let Anaconda create everything automatically, then go back and use Blizzard GUI. The problem here is that with Blizzard GUI you can do more stuff. So in case you can do some configuration using Blizzard GUI, then go back to custom spoke. And it won't be able to show you everything you did. So this might be a problem. We might be able to fix it. Yeah, maybe. The other way might be to just add some simple, because we already have the functionality and Anaconda to create a storage configuration automatically. So we can add just the same button into the head GUI.
I don't really have a question there. It's just to let you know that the design looks really nice. So I really wish it works and it will be successful because the current design is not really far from a nightmare. I will continue with your point actually. That is there a possibility in the future that you could just squeeze all the options to the Blizzard GUI and add something like a level of settings, like set it basic. And then with the basics, you could also choose the automatic partitioning, or just or use the basic level, but configure it manually. But just very simple things. The same way as it works for the I will configure it manually option right now. And then if you really do know what you're doing, you would just switch to the settings level advanced, and you would do all this kind of stuff you showed us.
Yeah, the question was, if we plan just to not have Livid GUI and custom spoke as two separate configuration options, but to squeeze it in one, and it would be possible to run Livid GUI or some advanced configuration from the custom spoke. It might be possible, we might work on that. The problem is it would take like much more work. This was exactly creating new spoke is very easy, and we already had the Livid GUI is working as the standalone application, so it was just, instead of creating it in its own window, it was embedded into Anaconda and it works, so it was quite easy. Doing this, changing custom spoke would be harder.
And we can call one of them easy mode and the other one expert mode, and that's basically it.
Everybody's an expert, right?
Yeah.
You get nothing from that. I mean, even if the show advanced options, everybody just clicks it and think they are advanced. So.
Yeah, so just keep the name and use Livid GUI because the people who really know what Livid GUI is and how to use it, we know. We know, and the others we're not there touching it.
I think it's actually better than some expert mode or anything like that. It just says it all.
We also already have an advanced storage screen which is for connecting advanced storage devices, so it might collide with that. So it's better to call it Livid GUI for GUI.
So, other questions?
Would it be possible to just switch to terminal and create the volumes and file system myself?
Yeah, it is possible. It is possible right now. You can do that. Yeah, it's you can do it in Anaconda now. You can switch to terminal, do everything manually from terminal.
How can I reload?
In custom spoke, you have a button to read everything from disks.
I can switch to terminal, right back and reload.
Yes.
But it's better to do it with the GUI because in custom spoke we might not see everything or it might just not be able to display whatever you want.
But for me it is difficult to map the actual user interface elements to the comments that will be around.
One thing that I would like to add actually to Kickstart as well, like I mean, just assign a mount point to a block device and let the installer not care about how that block device is created or whatever that is. It sees a block device so it can mount it at whatever place. So you would.
Oh, it started working again. So it wasn't frozen. It was just really, really slow. Okay, Zdeněk?
So, similar question, your GUI is doing some stuff behind the scenes. So, is there an option to see, like in shell script way, what commands are going to be executed? Like Veritas is going to prepare us what is going to happen? You can, as an expert, check that your GUI is actually.
No, it's not possible. It uses Blivet, and there's some internal state to see. It will give you, you will see summary of the actions, what it's going to do, but it's from Blivet, so.
And is there that summary?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you click down again, it will show you the summary like creating LV on something or creating bullet group this on top of this and this, stuff like that. Also for
And would it be too hard to go a little bit further and from the Blivet export what actions are going to be happening under these sentences?
like a shell script, right?
Oh, nearly, yes.
Yeah.
So these are the actions.
These are the actions. There are some actions created by Anaconda. It creates new partition table on every disk, and you can see it this way what it does actually.
And because you can map it to the command, so
Yeah.
it's not a big step in my eyes.
Oh, yeah, Blivet is using C library blockdev to call, so it might be. We can do it manually to write somewhere what commands we are going to execute, but.
And thanks God, some of these are actually debug code at LVM. It's not running commands.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to repeat the question. The question was if it's possible to see what commands will Anaconda run or Blivet GUI will run if you do stuff like
In
that.
ideal case, it would not call any commands, it would call libraries.
Yes. So we probably have time for last question. Yes?
It's like more a bug report or feature request than the question because I've got historically bad experience since I installed Terra, I used LVM, and once new Terra was released, I tried to install new Terra and I would expect that Anaconda could use some part of the LVM, but every time I click declare the space, it tried to squeeze the new installation into group partition, and it just simply ignored the LVM, and then there is quite some free space on the LVM, and it never worked.
So the question was if it's possible with Anaconda, not just with Build GUI, to reuse existing LVM. It's possible, but you have to use the custom spoke. It's not possible from the reclaim space dialog. Yeah, I know it's not easy. By the way, if you have some, there are some bugs in Anaconda right now you hate, or it's not even possible to do something in Anaconda, that Build GUI will have the same bugs because it's using the same library.
So as always, please report
Nah,
everything.
we already had last questions, and you work with me. So, thank you for attention. If you have some more questions, you can find me outside, talk to me.
Vyzerá to fakt cool, tak doufám, že vyzerá to fakt cool, tak to nedám.
No, uvidíme, jak to bude vypadat.
Ale fakt by jako bylo fajn, kdyby se nějakým způsobem Anaconda zbavila toho systému, čo používá teraz.
No, to je fakt pěkný, když nepotřebuješ dělat nic. To je problém se systémama, který jsou moc jednoduchý pro lidi, kteří tomu rozumí, a stejně jsou fakt moc složitý pro lidi, kteří tomu nerozumí.
Jako to, co říkal vlastně Erik, takže by bylo něco na to, že by tam bylo zachované tady ta jednoduchost, ale dalo by se to překonat do toho historii a bylo by to součástí.
To chápu, ale to je fakt tím, že jsme prostě vzali jedno okno a hodně jsme ho